On the morning of the 26th of September, 1918, during the advance of the 364th Infantry, First Lieutenant Bronson was struck by an exploding enemy hand grenade, receiving deep cuts on his face and the back of his head. He nevertheless participated in the action, which resulted in the capture of an enemy dugout from which a great number of prisoners were taken. This was effected with difficulty and under extremely hazardous conditions because it was necessary to advance without the advantage of cover and, from an exposed position, throw hand grenades and phosphorus bombs to compel the enemy to surrender. On the afternoon of the same day, he was painfully wounded in the left arm by an enemy rifle bullet, and, after receiving first aid treatment, he was directed to the rear. Disregarding these instructions, First Lieutenant Bronson remained on duty with his company through the night, although suffering from severe pain and shock. On the morning of the 27th of September, his regiment resumed the attack, the object being the village of Eclisfontaine. He was left in support of the attacking line, but left his unit and joined with the attackers in Company E. He gallantly joined that company in spite of his wounds and engaged with it in the capture of the village. After the capture, he remained with Company E and participated with it in the capture of an enemy machine gun, he himself killing the enemy gunner. Shortly after this encounter, the company was compelled to retire due to the heavy enemy artillery barrage. During this retirement, First Lieutenant Bronson, who was the last man to leave the advanced position, was wounded again in both arms by an enemy high explosive shell. He was then assisted to cover by another officer who applied first aid. Although bleeding profusely and faint from loss of blood, First Lieutenant Bronson remained with the survivors of the company throughout the night of the second day, refusing to go to the rear for treatment. His conspicuous gallantry and the spirit of self-sacrifice were a source of great inspiration to the members of the entire command. First Lieutenant Deming Bronson was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions.